This is going to be crochet part 4. And this is going to be our last piece beside the pillows that we have to crochet. Okay? It looks weird, but this is what's going to be the back. And you start like this. We're going to start here, and then it will be sewn together. Okay, so here we go for your pattern. You're going to get your yarn and make a little loop right here. Make your loop with your hook, not your needle. One lady corrected me. It's not a needle, it's a hook. I'm a seamstress. I call everything a needle. All right. Okay, you are going to you're going to chain 18 stitches. Okay, chain 18. Oh, that sounds familiar, huh? That's because it's the same amount as you did all the way around the tissue box. So we're going to do 18. And I didn't count, so I'm going to have to stop and pause and count to see how many I have, because I can't talk and count at the same time. I remember watching my mom when I was little, and she would be, doing it, and I'd talk to her, and she would, because she's counting. Okay, I have to count. 18. Okay, remember the 18th stitch was your stitch to turn by. So really, you're going to be crocheting 17 stitches. And you're going to do that for, I think it's 19 rows, which is really 20. Because your first row, you're not counting the chain row. So 17 stitches going back, and remember, after you get there, count and then crochet 1 for the turn. You always have to crochet 1. Now, I think no matter what pattern, unless you're decreasing, you're going to chain 1 at the end for the return, and you don't count that one. I always hate starting because it's so little and so, rolling. Look how it's rolling up and everything. But once you get going, it's more pleasant. So we're going to keep on doing this. I'm going to pause the video while I do it and get my 19 rows. And that will be 10 bumps. Remember how I told you? Okay, I'm at the end, crochet 1 and make the turn. Okay, so it's going to be, you're going to crochet 10 bumps. And remember, this is the back side, this is the front with the loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you're going to have 10 of these. And then we're going to start adding, and I'm going to show you how. Now, the pattern looks real complicated because look at how many rows, how many instructions, and then clear to the back side and clear to here. And my sister saw it, Carolyn, and she goes, oh, that's too long a pattern. I can't do it. That's too long a pattern. I can't do it. But you can, and I'm going to show you the simple way to do it. So you don't have to mark off each time you do a row. You don't have to count 22 stitches, 23, 24. No, I'm going to show you how to do it easy. But your homework right now, I'm going to pause it, and your homework right now is to do those 10 lumps, 10 bumps, which is 19 rows. So let's just both crochet for a while, and if you have to pause it, pause it here and then do it and then come back. Okay. Did you do it? Did you do the 10? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and you came back from where you started from. So now comes the tricky part. How do you gain and make it get bigger, like right here? How are we going to make it get bigger from here and get bigger? Okay, I'm going to tell you. All right. You do your chain 1 to turn. I didn't do that yet. So I'm going to do my chain 1 to turn. And then you are going to crochet just your single crochet 8 stitches. So you just do 8. Okay, 8 stitches. Now in the next 9th stitch, you're going to do 2 single crochets in this one, like that. And then you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 left that you're going to single crochet in to finish to the end. Okay, and you'll see the little hump that doing it 2 in 1 stitch made a little hump. And now you have how many stitches? Now you have 18 stitches on here. So every row you're going to gain an inch. So then there'll be 19, 20, 22, 20. So you're going to keep doing it until you have, let me look, I can't remember, until you have, I think it's 32 stitches. So you're going to keep gaining until you have 32. Okay, do your stitch and turn. But I'm going to show you the easy way to count and do it. Now you will gain 1 more inch before you do it. Well, I do not want to count all these stitches every time because, you know, I'm lazy. So I'm going to show you the easy way to do it. For me, anyway. Okay, so this is the 2 that I added, 2 new ones. Okay, instead of counting from the front over, count from this side, because every time on every 32 rows, you will be only having 8 stitches to single crochet on this end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so when you do this right here will be your double, and then you'll have 8, always 8. But this side you'll gain more and more and more. But because you turn it, it all works out to be even on both sides because you're turning it. So you finish your 8 here. And I'll show you another trick that I did sometimes and it seemed to always work out. And do your stitch to turn, your turning stitch. But see, if you count this, you have to keep counting more and more and more stitches because you're adding. I don't want to count more and more. I just want to count the remaining 8 at the end. But I'm going to show you this time what I do. And you might be wanting to do it after you're getting a little better. My arthritis hurts in my thumb today. I know you guys have that too. Okay, I don't know how many stitches I did, but I do know I have 8 on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know how I know? I measure with my thumb, holding it like this. And I know that the top of my thumb is 8 stitches. So then I know this stitch, this stitch before the 8 is the one that I do 2 in that one. Okay, I did it. Now I just do the 8 remaining. And how many did I do here? I don't know. But after a while, when you start getting up to this point of crocheting all of these, getting up to this point, you have to start counting until you get to 32 stitches. And when you get to 32, then you have to start, we're going to start decreasing. And so I'll tell you how to do that when I get there. But right now, we're just going to keep crocheting until you have 32 stitches left on your piece. But I'm not going to count all those because I just count the last 8 and make sure I just have 8. And then the one that you stopped at is the one that you do 2 in the same hole. And that adds a stitch on every row. See, I'm not going to count these first ones. I don't want to count these stitches because I get sick of counting. You can if you want. You have to gain it, and then you have to write it down every time or mark it, have them on a list and check each time to count how many. I can't do all that. That would not be fun for me. So my sister, she didn't want to make one because she said that would be so much of counting and doing that. You don't have to. You just crochet all the front stitches. And then I use my finger here as a guide. And I went one too many. So this is, I took one out because this is the one that I needed to put 2 in the same hole. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then you just single, after you do the 2 to increase, then you're just going to count the 8. How many did I have over here? I don't know because I didn't count. But you can tell when you start getting it starts getting bigger and bigger for the back of the sofa cover. You could start telling, oh, it looks like I might have 32 by now. And then you count and find out. And make your turn. Am I going to count these first? No, I'm not going to count any of these. They want you to, but I'm not doing it. I'm just going to wait until I get to the end here, and then I will use my thumb guide. Your thumb might be different size than mine. And if you had to, you could even put a little mark on where 8 stitches in the crook here to here. Mine's to the top of the thumb, and that's always 8 stitches. So the stitch before is the one you got to do 2 in to increase it. So I found out that is the best way. After I made 100 of these, I've made over 100 of these. You'd think I'd have it memorized by now. Okay, this is my nail at the top of my nail. So this is the one that I'm going to put 2 in. 1, 2. And am I right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, every time then. Finish the 8. So I don't have to count. And I can just watch TV and crochet without having to count and stop. So that's your hint. So you do your homework and do this much, and then I'm going to stop this. And when I get to my 32nd row up here, I'll come back on. You can see how it's starting to get bigger, and it will start getting bigger and bigger as long as you keep just crochet until the end here, always the end, and then do your stitch adding right here. Then when you turn it, it's on this side. Then you turn it, it's always on this side, so it's both sides then. And then we decrease, and then you finish off with your 20 rows here, which is really 10 loops. And then you sew it together and stuff it, and then sew it onto here. And you see I have 2 of these ready to go. I could finish this and sew it on to the pink one, but I'm waiting because I need this for visual aid. So I'm getting 2 done instead of just 1 showing you. That's good. And then I have my silver one down there that I want to finish it. So I'm going to start giving them away again. But now you guys know how to do it yourself. And so you maybe not care about going on the list to get one. I still have all the names of everyone who has sent their name and address into me. So I don't know if I should use those names or start over because we have new people. But I do have all the same list. But now I might do it different and say, whoever wants this pink one, give me your name. And then, you know, whoever wants this green one, give me your name and address. Maybe that's going to be a better way. I don't know. I haven't decided yet because, you know, I'm slow. Okay, and here's my thumb. So this is the 9th one here at the fingernail. But it's not the 9th counting this way. It's the 9th counting from the back. And then here's my 8 stitches after I increased that I'm going to finish. Because it's always the same. Always 8 stitches on the end each time you turn it. Are you getting it? I hope. Okay. I'm a lazy person. I'm just going to sit here on a Sunday and crochet. I already went to church. And so now it's my time. Have the ham dinner and scalloped potatoes in the oven cooking. So I'm going to watch a movie and crochet. All right, you got your 32 stitches. Be sure you count it. This is how you'll finish and what it will look like. And I've just, on this last row, I just added my last 2, and then I count them, and it's 32. Now, this is the easy part. All you do is crochet 3 rows of the 32 stitches. Once you hit this, 3 rows at 32 inches. So I'm going to pause it now, and you go do that, and then come back. Got it? All right. The 3 rows are done. So it looks like this now. So remember, do your last stitch, make 1 chain stitch to turn it. Okay, now you're going to crochet this row as normal, but we're going to use our 8 stitch at the end pattern again, except this time we are going to be skipping a stitch to decrease it, because now we want it to go smaller. This will be the exact center of our couch in the back there. And so I will get to this down here. Go until you get to the 8 stitches, and when you're here, you're going to skip 1. And just 1 loop here, you skip it. It won't leave a hole. All right, I'm at the end here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So when you're on your 11th stitch, you're going to skip your 10th stitch and go into the 9th stitch. That's from the end, not this count. You're only counting from the end, because that way you only have to count 10 stitches instead of 32 or whatever it is, because we don't have time to count 32 stitches. Okay, now see, I want you to see. It isn't leaving a hole and you're not even seeing it. So when you finish this, you should count your stitches and you will have 31 stitches now. And you're going to keep this up of decreasing on the back end of it. You're going to decrease until you get back to your 17 stitches. And then I'll show you what you do next. So keep doing it. You don't have to count right away. I don't count them until it looks like it's about this wide down here. And then I count and make sure I have 17 stitches. And I hit that row. And then we're going to put a marker on it. And I'll show you how to do that. Oh, sorry, I'm not even in frame, crocheting in frame. Are you still following me and doing it? Probably not. I probably lost a lot of staggers. Oh, and I have a friend visiting. Okay, bye. All right, I did it. And now I'm on the last row, and I have 18 stitches here. So I want to have 17. So I'm counting from the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to skip this. I'm in number 10. I'm skipping the 9th from the end, remember. And then I'm going to be having 17 stitches on here. So I'm going to go to the end. Sorry, I'm wearing something different every day because it's taken me that long to do this. Instead of sticking at tasks for one day, I hope I'm doing it right. Okay, when you get to the very last, count and make sure that you really do have 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Then we have to mark it. So take a little paper clip, or you can buy those little plastic safety pin markers, but I'm just going to use this because that's what I have right here. My mother used to take yarn and just tie it once on there because she didn't have anything. So whatever you have, mark it, because now you're going to do the 17 stitches with these 10 lumps, 10 bumps to finish it. And then this piece will be finished. All right. So I'm going to pretend this is green and I finished it. So you're going to remember how you tell the right side is this lumpy side, and you're going to fold it in two like this, and you're going to stitch it together. So leave a long tail on your yarn when you cut it, because you're done, and you're going to stitch it like this. The sun is shining. We got sun glare. All right, now go get your polyfill. The cheapest way to buy polyfill, go buy a pillow at Walmart and take the stuffing, cut it open and do that. Okay, you're going to stuff it then. Now, I like to, sometimes, I don't know if I do it every time, I stuff as you go so that it's easier that way for me. Sometimes your stuffing comes with one of these, but whatever you have to poke it in, use a knife, anything you have. If you don't stitch it very far, I stitched it kind of far, you can just poke it with your finger. Okay. And then, since my yarn and needle's right here, if I didn't have this right here, I would start at the other end. But you don't have to do it very tight sewing, because it's going to be sewn down onto the box. So, just do it like this. Today is my daughter-in-law Cindy's birthday. I doubt if Betty's watching this, because she probably isn't. I don't know if she crochets or anything. But I got to remember, I'm ordering her a present off of Amazon, and they're on a cruise right now, so I didn't want it delivered while they're on their cruise from Amazon. So I have to order it tomorrow in order to get home the right day, get delivered the day they come home. So I didn't forget her birthday, though, even though today's her birthday, and she's not getting her gift today because they went on a cruise for her birthday. So that's nice. They invited us, too, if we wanted to go, but I don't know why. I'm getting low on my money. My savings is pretty low, and so I'm not as willing to spend it, on frivolous things. And so I haven't booked one that I have to come up with a big down payment or, pay by certain time, and then I would have to use that money out of savings. And so I haven't booked a cruise yet, another one. I just want to hibernate this winter. I don't know why. It's just what I'm in the mood of. And I used my whole skein of pink yarn. I hope I have enough to sew it together. I thought I had another skein, and I went and looked in my stash, and I can't find one. So I must have been mistaken. But I do have a little bit left here. A little bit of yarn left. This is my last piece. Ooh, it's okay. I'll do it. If it's, I had this other pink. I made the pillows out of the other, a different pink, because I didn't have more of this. But that's fine. That'll be pretty. That's what you do. If you don't have enough yarn to finish, you make the pillows. Got to put a knot in it. You make the pillows and other out of different yarn. So that's what I did. Okay, tuck this tail in, because you don't want to cut it off. I don't anyway. It would might unravel. Okay, when you're sewing the end, just take the loops and go through like that. Everything I plan to do next is a foil. And so I have to plan something else or make a different plan than what I had. It's making me mad. Change of plans. Okay. And then turn it and stitch this. You don't want to stitch one end all the way and then just leave one end open to stuff it, because you're not going to get a good stuffing that way. So just do it like I did it, halfway each way, and then stuff it to the middle. I've learned, because, you know, I've made over 100 of these, literally. I'm not just exaggerating. I've written them all down that I've given away for the giveaways. And this pink one is going to be a giveaway. And the green one I want to give to my grandson-in-law. And he had a birthday, and Autumn said he would like one of those. And then he had Christmas. I still didn't get it done. So I might give him one. I don't know what's coming up. I might just keep it in a stash for a surprise gift I might need for somebody someday. I don't know what I'm doing. I'll wait and figure it out when it comes. But I am giving the pink one away. I keep spilling my drink on it. My drink right here. It looks disgusting because I mixed my protein, root beer flavored protein drink, and then I put some of my root beer pop in it. It tastes like a float then. So it looks disgusting because it coagulated at the top. I just made it this morning. And it makes twice as much protein, so it takes a while to drink it. Not that you care. I had to explain myself why that looks disgusting, though. I'm thinking the weather's supposed to be good all week, so maybe I'll go to Rock Springs to see my daughter. I don't know. I have good tires. And I don't have anything else planned this week. Maybe I will. I don't know. What do I do when I go there? Just bug her. Because she doesn't have... she does hair every day. And so she has appointments and kids stuff. Okay, so that's all stuffed. I'm going to finish stitching right here. I'm going to do it far apart because I need all this thread I can get to sew it on. Now I'm going to show you how to sew it on. So this might be the very last of the crocheting. And my numbers watching them are dropping off. which, does that mean they don't want to make them? They're not making them? Or it means it's boring. Okay, here I have this. Remember, this is all done like this. Now you have to determine, this is the back, this is the front, so we want it to go on like this. Let me come down. We want it to go like this on here. And I have a stitch right here. You might want to look to see which side looks better. Mine look the same, so it doesn't matter. And I lay it like this, with the seam in the back and my side seam right here. And then I sew it like this. Now in the beginning right here, I do a couple stitches right here in the beginning because I want it to be very secure right there. I don't know why. It's not like anyone's going to sit on it and make it not be secure. And then, now I remember when I first made them, I positioned it and I pinned it. I only have needles over here. I pinned it right here, and then I lined up the back to be straight in the back. And you could kind of tell when it's right in the back. And so then I pinned it right here so that I wouldn't get cockeye on it and have a whole bunch, you know, off-centered. Like that, see? And then you just keep stitching around like this. And if you do it that way, it doesn't show. Your stitching doesn't, you know, it looks good. I hope somebody is still doing it and actually finished it with me. I don't know if I'll do this again on anything else because my views aren't great. But I didn't do it for that reason. I did it just because people wanted to learn to make one. And that's why I did it, for that one person who wanted it. Silly. And then hide your tail. Stitch it in there so you don't have a piece of yarn sticking out. Okay. And then oh, here it is. I lost it. My other needle. You could use short or long needle. Now I'm going to start over here because if I don't know if I have enough yarn, so I'm going to have to use a different color for the back part. So I want this part to show. And I made the pillows are out of this color. I think it'll look fine. A little darker. The pillows are just, you chain 10 stitches. And so you're going to crochet 9. Now the directions on the pattern say do 13 stitches, but I think those are too big of pillows. So I just do 10 stitches. But you can work however many stitches that you want. And then work your little pillow 14 or 16 rows. So it looks like this. Just your same stitch back and forth. And then fold it. And I cut the string long and then just do that. And then stuff them and sew them on. Now that I taught people how to do it, maybe my giveaway list won't be so big to give it away. So it cost about, I don't know, in yarn and stuffing, maybe $5 to make them. And then it cost me $10 to mail it. So the giveaway is not that great. You're not getting that great a thing. Although it took me a week to make it. Because I was slow and had to record. And now I'm doing a gray one with a speckle in it because I started it. So I want to finish that one. I never made my orange one for the fall holidays. I want to make that one and put it away in my decorations. I have my red one out for Valentine's Day. Shoot. Okay, you get it, and then you finish it off. Okay, now I'll show you the pillow. Okay, here it is. I already have it made. So put some, you got to stuff your pillow. Like that. Now my needle. I've been watching, I have Prime movies, Prime TV, and I haven't paid attention to it in a long time. So Craig, my grandson, was over here, and he was showing me some shows on there that I should watch, which I probably won't because they were like science fiction ones that I'm not interested in. But I was looking at other movies that I wanted to watch. So I've been watching movies on Prime. They seem to be better than YouTube for me right now. So check out Prime movies if you haven't paid attention lately, if you have Prime. And this pillow, I made a mistake and left a loop right here. So I'm going to go up through here, catch this loop, and bring it back down. Because, you know, that was the easiest way to fix your mistake. Okay, so here's my little pillow. I'm going to show you how to sew it on. Place your pillow right here. And then bend this down and come back in here. You don't have to make very many stitches with it because nobody's going to lay on your couch and move it. Now, if you have a grandchild and they want then they play with Barbies, a granddaughter, then you could make one of these for their Barbie doll. That's what I did with Ellie. But even Credence has one that I made to open up. If you make one to open up, you leave this opened. I'll show you as soon as I finish this. Okay, and then just tie it off in here. Okay, my end is in there. Oh, wow. I want to hide the tail. And then cut it off. Okay, there it is. We're done. Now, sometimes I've saved this for the end, and then I do it now, but I did it in the beginning. They're cute, huh? I have to finish sewing it together. And sewing my other pillow. And then I will finish this and finish my green one. But I won't do that off camera. Oh, I was going to show you this. All right, this one. I took a Kleenex box, and I covered it with contact paper to reinforce it. And then I sewed it. I had my top piece, and I did not sew it to the bottom, only in the back here. And then I just glued this to this top. It still has this slit. Oh, here's a stamp in here. It still has this slit right here. Another one. Didn't know I was hiding my stamps in there. So if I wanted to make it, do it on tissues, I could. I think that's why I did it that way. But you wouldn't have to. You could just crochet the whole thing plain. And then it's a box to use for other things besides just, I have my hair stuff in here, besides the tissues. And then a long time ago, they used to give your flushable wipes in these boxes, and I had some of those. Credence, I mean, my little great-grandson's been in here. He put his toys in here. And so I made this little one, and it's the same idea. You just sew it on the back side and then sew the sides, but don't sew it to the bottom. And then I glued this on here. And it's a good doll size one. And then here's another one I made. And these boxes I ordered from Temu. This size of box they sell, but they open with a thing here and here. So I had to leave that, opened. These are my bracelets that have all these kind of things. I keep them in here. And then this is the kind I made for my granddaughters because they wanted this as a jewelry box. And I made a blue one for Credence because he didn't want to be left out, my grandkids. But this is just another idea. And this is a smaller one. And what's the pattern for this one? I just measured this, how deep I needed it, and how deep I needed it here. And this, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows with the same amount of stitches as here, like on the big one. And then I just calculated it different when I kept holding it. And when I got to the middle, then I started decreasing it and made it a smaller one. I don't even have it written down, the pattern. I just figured it as I went. Okay, so that is how to make a sofa box tissue cover.